Hey guys, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys the latest update from here in Goa for the month of June 2022. So I'll be telling you guys the current situation, what's open, what's happening right now. So guys, compared to most of the years for the last 10 years or so, the 1st of June onwards, Goa shuts down or goes into off-season mode with most of the things being closed like shacks, water sports activities and everything else. But this year, surprisingly, there's a lot of changes. So post-pandemic, what happens is a lot of the businesses suffered during lockdowns and things like that. So the scene has changed quite a lot. So in today's video, I will be telling you about what the scene is like here in Goa. So if you had seen my previous video or an update video which I had done in the month of May, explaining about what happens in June, I had explained that everything is shut down and everything is closed during off season, which is actually true for the last 10 years. But for the first time this year, we are going to see a lot of changes in the off season and how it behaves. So I spent the last 2 days going around. I went to Baga, I went to Kalangut, and I spent a lot of time talking to taxi drivers, the hotel staff. I've spoken to many people all around, and just I wanted to know what is happening in the the real story behind the scenes, and I was very surprised that a lot of things have changed this year. First of all, the weather has been very different this year. Usually by the first week of June onwards, we tend to have heavy rains here, whereas in Goa at the moment it rains only for a little while, like about the whole morning session. By 9 o'clock onwards, it is bright and sunny again. You have beautiful blue skies. Of course, I cannot tell the future. The rains might come heavier later on in the month, but as of now, it's beautiful weather. And even if it rains, it does not rain whole day. It rains in between different sessions. Depends if you're lucky. Some days, the rains will come in, and some days, the things will be normal. Okay, so let me now get into telling you guys about the current situation and what you can expect when you come here. So as of now, places like Baga, which all the shacks are removed. There is no water sports or shacks on these beaches like Kalangut, Kandolim. All the shacks have been removed. But this time Baga has a lot of the restaurants, which are beachside restaurants, which are still open. So it would basically serve quite similar to a shack. Of course, you would not have the loud music, which is quite nice actually, because you have this big beach stretch which is very beautiful, and it's a very nice experience to experience Baga without all the loud music and the beach beds and those people trying to sell you a lot of things. So if you really want to experience the beauty of Goa during monsoons, I would definitely recommend to come now. So the restaurants are open. There are a few the beach tables. So they have these tables with where you can drink and have a great time. That is all available on the main Baga beach. Kalangut beach, there are not many restaurants on the beach, but there are a few at the entrance of the Kalangut entrance. You will have a few places. At Kandolim, there are places like Tomato Shack and a few other restaurants. Kandolim is not so happening at the moment, so I went to all these places and I was just doing a ground assessment so I could explain to you guys what actually is happening. But yeah, so now most of the people are interested in water sports and going into the sea to swim, right? When you come to Goa, you want to swim. The first thing which I did a video in Baga. The people were swimming in. Just a few minutes later, the car with basically the jeep, there is a jeep which patrols the beach. The jeep came up and they said for the next 4 months, the government of Goa has closed the beaches so that everybody had to get out of the water. So for the next 4 months, they have mentioned, I spoke to the lifeguards, they said for 4 months, they're not going to allow anybody to swim. I understand that might be hard to some of you and say, oh, but I'm a good swimmer, or things like that. But I would definitely tell you honestly, being a Goan and seeing so many situations of where people have drowned and things like that, I would really tell you not to go into the water, is because the sea is very, very rough at this point of time. And what happens is, because the sea is so rough, sometimes what happens is, there could be a big log or something which is in the water. With the wave, it could probably hit you and you could probably drown because of that, or things like that, because the sea throws out everything. So this is also one of the reasons you will see the beaches are quite dirty at this time, compared to most of the, even compared to main season time. I would say the beaches would be much more dirtier now, is because whenever the monsoon season comes in, there's a lot of, the dirt from the sea that gets thrown out onto the beaches, and we have this rough weather here. So please never go into the water. Maybe if you're just standing around in the water, that's fine to click photos or anything, but the moment the lifeguards tell you to get out of the water, please listen, because then after you are putting their lives at risk as well to save you. So yeah, so that is another option. Now the things like clubbing, the clubbing is still on. Places like the Tito's Lane, all the clubs are still open. Sink nightclub is open. The Hammers nightclub is still open. Usually during off season, most of these places used to remain closed, or run at half steam. But surprisingly, this year things are running smoothly. Of course, the clubs are not completely full like before, where if you've come in season time, some days you might be the only people dancing on the floor. Some days on weekends you might have a lot more people. Surprisingly, is weekends we have 70 to 80% capacity in the hotels. So that means the hotels are all quite full. But this is also a trend showing because of the school year has been extended this year. So what happens is a lot of the school children with their families are here at this point of time. So that is why we see a lot of influx in tourists during these times, because other places like Thailand and all these places are difficult to travel to at this point of time. So a lot of people are choosing to come to Goa. So the places like night markets are closed, Watersports on all the beaches are closed. I see a lot of YouTubers and influencers trying to push for water sports, but please, these are not, it's basically they're only doing it because they make a lot of commissions. So YouTubers and these agents get about 60% commission sometimes to promote these activities, but it's not really safe, and I don't even know where they do these activities. But the sea is very, very rough right now in Goa and all over the world, or wherever in India. But whenever it's raining, it's very dangerous to go into the sea. So water activities, I would recommend to do it in main season time when the sea is calm and you would actually enjoy the experience. But yeah, so other things to be know that are open, like the dolphin trips are fine, because these are going from the Mandovi river, so you can actually do that. Many of the boat cruises are still open, so you'll have these small boat cruises in the evening. If it's not raining, then go it, because you'll enjoy it. If it is raining, you'll probably get wet. Things that you should carry to Goa are definitely the mobile pouch which you have, which keeps your phone safe. That is something you should definitely carry, as well as other things like get a raincoat, always carry it with your bike. Prices of rentals for hotels and bike rentals are very cheap now. So the standard rate for bike rental is around 300 rupees right now, and if they're charging you more, you should bargain it down to 300. Car rentals are 1200 onwards, depends on what car you're getting. Drinking and driving is very strict now, so the police will probably catch you for drinking and driving. The fine is 5,000 rupees or jail time. I would definitely recommend not to drink and drive, because if there is not as much crowd as during season time, so it's very easy to catch you. So they'll directly pick on you if you seem to be drinking and driving. And also because of safety, see, a lot of locals suffer because of drinking and driving. Personally, myself, I've gone through an accident where a drunk tourist took a jeep and smashed me. If you see my hand is was cut to the bone. So sometimes we think we'll just have an occasional drink, but someday you might cost somebody's life. So please drink responsibly. If you want to drink and go around, be responsible. Also, other things like wearing a no helmet is 1,000 rupees fine right now. And also, So there's a lot of waterfall activities that you can do during these times. So you can go to waterfalls. I will post some links in my Instagram in future of all these waterfall activities. So I would definitely recommend you to follow my Instagram, because I post all these activities, because many of these groups, like the trails, they do these trails and water adventures and stuff like that. So these all activities I will post on my Instagram, so you can follow me there. Also guys, like as I mentioned, casinos are open, Donna Paula jetty is open, all the the forts and everything is open. So if you want to go to any of the forts are open, the Aguada jail is open, the churches are open, all the things that usually used to be closed during the off season are still open. Of course, the night markets and things like that are closed, but many of the markets, like the markets in Kalangut, Baga, are still open, so you can go there. Yeah, so if you have any further questions or want to know any other places, or information, you can comment down below. I'll be happy to help you guys. So anyway, that is the little update from here in Goa. I hope you enjoyed this video and it was informational enough. So please definitely click the subscribe button for many more updates from here in Goa.